The video game Counter-Strike Global Offensive, or CSGO for short, had 1.3 million peak concurrent players just last month, an all-time high for the storied FPS game. More and more people are playing the game, but that's not all. Viewership of the game has been growing every year, whether it is on the top streaming service Twitch or viewership numbers linked to the high-end CSGO events. It would be an understatement to say the game is growing, but there is one thing the 10-year-old game has failed to accomplish: having a top-tier tournament in the Pacific Northwest. I'll be talking about my plan to bring this renowned video game to Tacoma, Washington through the Swedish company DreamHack. This plan includes a full schedule of the event, hotel and practice room plans, social media plans, and a total budget. DreamHack holds two different series of events: DreamHack Open events, where anyone is free to join, and the winner gets invited to their premium event, and DreamHack Masters events that are 16 of the world's top teams competing for a $300,000 prize pool. This Tacoma event will be a DreamHack Masters tournament. The CSGO tournaments are held all over the world, primarily in Europe, as Sweden, Denmark, and Germany are often the countries most linked to the video game. However, there are often tournaments held in North America, and throughout the years, there have been over 10 tournaments held on the west coast of the United States. The only problem is, none of them have been more north than Central California. Cities such as Seattle, Portland, and Vancouver, British Columbia have never been able to attend a top-tier CSGO event without needing to travel on a plane or taking a 10 to 12 hour car ride. Tacoma is an ideal location as it is in the middle of the Vancouver and Portland cities, but has better attributes than Seattle. Tacoma would work as a better hub than Seattle, since Seattle hotels can cost upwards of $150 a night, while there are options in Tacoma for as low as $60 a night. Accessibility is also a big plus for Tacoma over Seattle. Sure, Seattle is larger and more well known around the world, but downtown Tacoma has many hotels that are all within walking distance or free public transportation distance to the venue, the Tacoma Dome. That leads us to why the Tacoma Dome is a good venue for the event. Many of the largest tournaments in the world are played in arenas smaller than the Dome's 23,000 person capacity. Average capacity for the event venues would be around 12 to 15,000 people. However, the largest events held in America over the last 3 years have been held at the Barclays Center in New York that has a capacity of 19,000 people, the United Center in Chicago that has a capacity of 23,500 people, and the Oracle Arena in California that has a 19,500 person capacity. This shows that the esport has the ability to hold events at these larger stadiums, especially in the United States. These tournaments are oftentimes, including this occasion, 6-day events, Tuesday through Sunday. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday will be played at the Tacoma Dome with a live audience. These games are the quarterfinals, semifinals, and grand finals of the tournament. The preliminary matches are also played to decide who gets to play in the Tacoma Dome. That is why the Tacoma Convention Center is the perfect location for these teams to play to decide who makes it to the playoffs. The prelim matches have no live crowd, but still have on-air talent present at the venue, providing viewers at home with 2 top-of-the-line streams. This allows all matches to be viewed throughout the week, so it is easy to follow who will be playing in the arena on the weekend. The event will take place June 22nd through June 27th of 2021. This stays consistent with DreamHack's 2020 summer event, which is held in early June. The 2021 player break is anticipated mid-July through mid-August. This player break is a chance for players to take a break of their strenuous schedule, and there is no events or practices allowed to be had during that month. Having the event held right before the player break will allow the event to be more competitive and consistent. So this is an example of the first day of the tournament. As you see, there are games being played all day, as well as 2 games being played at once. This is why there will be 2 streams being run at once.
You can see that the tournament is also a two-loss elimination style bracket, allowing for two teams to be sent home the first day, as well as four teams being eliminated the second day. The tournament is set up this way to save DreamHack money by needing to provide hotel rooms for these teams as little as possible. After a team is eliminated, they have that night's hotel room paid for by DreamHack. Then they are expected to provide themselves with rooms if they choose to stay for the remainder of the tournament. Each CSGO team has 5 players as well as a coach. Allowing each team 3 hotel rooms is standard, meaning each room has 2 team members. If a team also has a team manager, they are more than welcome to sleep in the practice room provided by DreamHack, or they are required to provide themselves with a hotel room. All 16 teams will be staying in Hotel Murano, the four-star hotel located in the heart of downtown Tacoma. This location is perfect as it is on the same road as the convention center, which is a short 2-minute walk, and is also a nice short taxi ride to the Tacoma Dome. Each team will be provided with a suite along with their 3 hotel rooms to be used as a practice room. The corner suites at the Hotel Murano are large enough to fit 5 computer setups. Requesting the couches out of the room and replacing them with foldable tables and computer chairs provided by DreamHack sponsors will provide the teams with an adequate practice location. DreamHack is also responsible for providing food for the teams whenever they are at the venues for competition. This means I provided a week of catered meals for DreamHack based on the number of teams being at the venue during the different meal times. I have set out a full schedule of meal plans for catering that ranges from Chipotle lunch to American barbecue dinner, with a lot of options in between. For DreamHack, a large portion of designing an event is making sure that it is attractive for potential people to travel to Tacoma for the event. For this reason, I've also made a list of restaurants for people that have never been to Tacoma. I provided 4 options in 4 different categories, along with expected prices per plate. The categories are upscale restaurants, casual dining, budget-friendly restaurants, and the Tacoma Bar District. So for all visitors, I wanted to make sure they had an option that they could both afford and look forward to while visiting Tacoma. Whether they wanted to try large chain restaurants such as the Melting Pot or the Old Spaghetti Factory, or they prefer a Tacoma-specific eatery like Hot Rod Dog, a local hot dog stand, or Pacific Grill. Tacoma Dome also has a great bar district for after the event is done for the night, so I provided different drinking options for a local sports bar from anywhere from a local sports bar to a more stylish Mexican bar. I provided a list of activities for visitors to do during the day when there are no games being played as well. There are 4 museum options, so there's the Glass Museum and the Washington History Museum are 2 of the options, along with information about the Point Defiance Zoo and the Tacoma Rainiers. All of this info was provided to DreamHack in order to market that Tacoma will offer more than just a chance to watch professional Counter-Strike. Rather, it offers attractions that are viable to do during the day while waiting for the event to start around 4 p.m. local time. Getting people to attend an event is the most important part of planning an event, and this section of my project is meant to intrigue all walks of life. Next, I wanted to provide a social media plan for DreamHack to execute. My main goal for the social media outline was to stay consistent with their current strategy. I made a total of 10 Instagram posts. Since DreamHack currently doesn't post on Instagram more than a couple times a month, I did not want to overload the amount that we would be posting about the DreamHack Masters Tacoma event. All of the Instagram mock posts I made for them with a date, an idea for a picture or pictures they should use, and a caption includes information relevant to the Tacoma Masters event, along with hashtags that they use on all of their current posts. For their Twitter account, that they made, they're much more active on. I provided 13 posts with a date and sometimes a specific time for the post, a piece of media that, if needed, which can be include pictures or a Twitter poll, which is something they use quite often actually,
and what the tweet should say. So for Twitter, much like Instagram, I chose to keep similar attributes such as word choice, occasional hashtags, and Twitter polls consistent with what they currently do. I only provided a time of day for 6 of the Twitter posts, as they were created to be relevant to the actual playing of the tournament. All the other posts recommended to be posted at a time that is relevant to both the United States and Europe. I recommended 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, which translates to 6 p.m. Central European Time. This would be a high traffic time for Europe, as it is right around that dinner time where a lot of social media is used. And it also would be one of the first things that Americans would see when they wake up and open up their social media feed. So coming up with an exact budget proved to be kind of impossible, as my attempts to obtain estimation prices for the venues were unsuccessful. I can only assume that is because of the current pandemic we're in. However, I was able to find relevant information after researching a little bit about the venues. So I was able to provide my own rough estimate of what I believe it would cost to rent out these spaces. So the budget for the hotel rooms will be roughly $55,000, along with $21,000 for practice rooms. Catered meals came out to be around $5,000, and transportation for the teams to and from the airport is around $5,500. Price for the venues for the weekend, based on the comparison that I did with the research that I found, is estimated that by me to be about $125,000 to $250,000. I did my best to kind of overestimate, but still stay reasonable of what I believe it would be, because I feel like overestimation would be better in this case than underestimation. So I averaged that number out to be about $200,000. And so my total budget I came out with for DreamHack would be roughly $285,520. So while approaching decisions I made with this project, I chose to take the elaboration likelihood model into consideration. The elaboration likelihood model gives you 2 general ways that people looking at a message will attempt to decrypt that message. Central route processing is the first way people look at a message and attempt to understand what the message is saying. Central route processing is the main way I approach this project, as I'm talking directly to a DreamHack official that could potentially make this event happen. Central route processing is more based on facts, and in order to process with the central route in mind, you must pay close attention and think about what the message is saying. While discussing how DreamHack can make money off this event, save money in certain areas, and get people to come watch their event live, providing good evidence was necessary because they will be using central route processing to receive my message. Peripheral route processing is more based on looking at a message of on the basis of physical attractiveness or other surface level characteristics. With peripheral route processing, you cannot analyze the message clearly if you have other outside distractions going on and you're not able to fully focus on the message you are receiving. While providing information on potential visitors of Tacoma, using just as much peripheral as central is imperative to making visiting Tacoma seem worth it. In this project, I created an event and planned all aspects of it. I explained why Tacoma is a great destination for a DreamHack Masters event. I provided a schedule of matches, gave a traveler's guide to people that have never been to Tacoma, and I explained how I approached making these decisions. Some people may be wondering why I put so much time into a hypothetical event for a company that I have no connection with on a video game that not a lot of people have even heard of if you don't play video games that often. Well, I have been a part of the Counter-Strike community for over 6 years now, and I have witnessed the scene grow exponentially over the years. I, however, have never gotten the opportunity to witness a pro tournament live, and I know many people in the Pacific Northwest have not been able to have that luxury either. So I want to provide an opportunity for the community I live in to experience the online community I have been a part of for so long. Thank you so much for listening.